for everyone getting here. If anyone shows up, start sharing the video. I'm good about a minute or two to see if anyone shows up in the room. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and do this anyway. And, oh, someone just showed up. I'm guessing that's probably you.
Someone else liked your videos.
Okay, well, I give a few minutes because I announced this an hour ago. So I'm giving it time, a moment or two to let other people come in the room. Whoever's watching, thank you for coming in. We're going to talk about a little story of the Cherokee legend, and then I'll explain why I'm bringing this story up. And I'll also got a special announcement at the end of this, or the start of it. Oh, 4 people showing up. Okay. Well, hello everybody. Greg Smith for Backwoods Cryptids here again, and you know what I've been doing out on Pigeon Mountain out in Lafayette lately, in Walker County, Georgia. My wife, and my cousin, that's my team. My wife does all the research. My cousin's out there in the field with me. We went out on the last super moon. It was a full moon also, last month, up to a place we've been having a lot of activity on Pigeon Mountain up near the Blue Hole. I have not put that video online yet. Been debating whether I should or not, because a lot of, let's just say some things happened. For one thing, we had a lot of activity up at the top of the mountain. Got back down to the truck. My wife was there, had to wait at the truck because she wasn't feeling well. And next I know, she just starts getting out of the truck like she's in a trance. I finally get her to snap out of it, and she don't remember getting out of the truck. She don't remember anything. She finally started remembering some stuff as we got away from there, saying she heard something in her head telling her that if she don't go up the mountain, that it's going to harm me and my cousin. Now, all this happening made me think of a story from Cherokee mythology of the Tsul Kalu, also known on as the Cherokee Devil if you watched Mountain Monsters. Now, last time the Ames team came across a creature like this, it took control of 2 of its members. One of them had him in a trance. He just sitting in this little red shack rocking back and forth. When I asked him why he didn't come out, he told them that he told me not to move. They said, "Who?" I'm a man on a mission. Well, I'm not here to learn Swedish, sir. But anyway, what happened was, then the other guy on the Ames that took control of was Huckleberry. And he disappeared for a while. Took him a few seasons to find out why it happened. Short of it is, this thing basically water tortured him. But well, I'm starting to think that we might be dealing with a creature like, or maybe a Tsul Kalu, or a creature like the Tsul Kalu from Cherokee mythology out in Lafayette on Pigeon Mountain. And if that's the case, this is not a good thing. Now, I got with me a book here I'm going to read out of about the Tsul Kalu. It's about James Moon's History, Myths, Sacred Formulas of the Cherokee. Why am I using Cherokee? Because that's who inhabited this land before us palefaces showed up. And if you're going to do research, go into the field of cryptozoology, you got to look to the people who had the land before white people. Hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. So, but first, I want to go on with a big announcement. Some of y'all have probably seen or heard on my Facebook or whatever that my wife and I have been trying for some time to have a child. We've had 2 miscarriages, but 3 losses. Let me explain that real quick. First one was just a straight up miscarriage here at the house. Second time, we didn't know at the time, but it was twins. One miscarried here at the house. The other one had been caught, and it was an ectopic pregnancy, and they had to do an emergency surgery and remove her fallopian tube. Well, we're at it again. So, looks like I'm going to be a dad. She's going to be a mom. Honey, you got anything to say to them about the pregnancy? Tell them about the progesterone. Now you don't need the progesterone pills this time.
My last pregnancy, I needed progesterone. This one, I do not. Progesterone's 20.
So, that's the big announcement for that. Now, as for the Tsul Kalu, which I believe to be having a creature like, or a Tsul Kalu, or a Tsul Kalu type creature out in the Fed. Now, it is a Bigfoot type creature. If you look at the stories, it's a large, bipedal, humanoid creature covered in hair. To me, that screams out Bigfoot. And I have the original story here. And I also, let me go to this part first. Now, the Tsul Kalu, or slant-eyed giant. The story of Tsul Kalu is one of the finest and best known of the Cherokee legend. It is mentioned as early as 1824 by Haywood, who spells the name differently. But it's one of the best known stories from Cherokee folklore. So just bear with me while I read this to y'all. And I'll go into more detail after I read this of why I think we have a Tsul Kalu type creature here in Walker County, Georgia. And hey Leon, how's it going, my brother? Alright, now, a long time ago, a widow lived with her one daughter at the old town, and I cannot pronounce the name of the town, but it was a Pishon River. The girl was of age to marry, and the mother used to talk with her a good deal and tell her she must, hang on, gotta turn the page. Must be sure to take no one but a good hunter for a husband, so that they would have someone to take care of them and would always have plenty of meat in the house. The girl said such a man was hard to find, but her mother advised her not to be in a hurry and to wait until the right one came. Now the mother slept in the house, while the girl slept outside in the acai. One dark night a stranger came to the acai, wanting to court the girl. But she told him her mother would only let her marry no one but a good hunter. Well, said the stranger, I am a great hunter. So she let him come in and stay all night. Just before day, he said he must go back to his own place, but that he had brought some meat for her mother, and she would find outside. Then he went away, and the girl had not seen him. When day came, she went out and found a deer, which she brought into the house to her mother, and told her it was a present from her new sweetheart. Her mother was pleased, and they had deer steaks for breakfast. That sounds like a pretty good breakfast to me. Just throw in some eggs. Yes, Mr. Moore, Georgia is full of cryptids, and I plan on tracking down each and every one I can. He again came the next night, but again went away before daylight, and this time he left 2 deer outside. The mother was more pleased this time, but said to her daughter, I wish your sweetheart would bring some wood Now, whenever he might be, now wherever he might be, the stranger knew their thoughts. Mind reading. So this creature can read minds, which very easily means he could speak to you through mental means. When the Georgia Raptor and Mr. Moore, me and you need to have a discussion sometime one-on-one, my friend. So when he came the next time, he said to the girl, "Tell your mother I have brought wood." And when she looked out that morning, there were several great trees laying in front of the door, roots, branches, and all. So we're talking about a creature not only has mental capacities, mental abilities, but he's also very strong. He brought entire trees, roots and all, to this this girl and her mother. The old woman was angry and said, "He might have brought us some wood that we could use instead of whole trees that we can't split to litter up the road with brush." The hunter knew what she said. The next time he came, he brought nothing. And when they looked out that morning, the trees were gone, and there was no wood at all. Pardon me, I'll have to relight my cigarette. So the old woman had to go after some herself. Almost every night, he came to see the girl. Each time he brought a deer or some other game, but still, always left before daylight. At last her mother said to her, "Your husband always leaves before daytime. Why don't he wait? I want to see the kind of son-in-law I have." When the girl told this to her husband, he said he could not let the woman see him because the sight would frighten her. "She wants to see you anyhow," the girl said, and began to cry, until at last he consented, but warned her that her mother must not say that he looked frightful. The next morning he did not leave so early, but stayed in the acai. And when it came daylight, the girl went out and told her mother. The old woman came out and looked, and there she saw a great giant with long slanted eyes, laying doubled up in the floor, with his head against the rafters, his left hand corner at the back, and his toes scraping the roof of the right hand corner of the door. That's a big guy. She gave only one look and ran back into the house crying. Tsul Kalu was terribly angry. He untwisted himself and came out of the acai and said goodbye to the girl, telling her that he would never let her mother see him again, but would go back to his own country. Then he went off in the direction of Siligunyi. Soon after he left, the girl had her monthly period. There was a very great flow of blood, and the mother threw all of it into the river. One night after the girl had gone to bed in the acai, her husband came again to the door and said to her, "It seems you are alone," and asked where was the child. She said there had been none. Then he asked where was the blood that she had said that her mother had thrown into the river. She told just where the place was. and he went there and found a small worm in the water. He took it up and carried it back to the acai. As he walked, it took the form and began to grow until when he reached the acai, it was a baby that he was carrying. He gave it to his wife and said, "Your mother does not like me and abuses our child. So come, let us go to my home." The girl wanted to be with her husband, so after telling her mother goodbye, she took up the child and they went off together to Siligun. Now the girl had an older brother who lived with his own wife in another settlement, and when he heard that his sister was married, he came to pay visit to her and her new husband. But when he arrived at, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's basically when he arrived at this particular village, his mother told him his sister had taken her child and gone away with her husband, nobody knew where. He was sorry to see his mother so lonely, so he said he would go after his sister and try to find her and bring her back. It was easy to follow the footprints of the giant, and the young man went along the trail until he came to a place where they had rested, and there were tracks on the ground where the child had been laying, and other marks as if a baby had been born there. He went along the trail and came to another place where they had rested, and there was tracks of a baby crawling about and another laying on the ground. So this is described as a Bigfoot, not a giant. But considering the term Bigfoot didn't come around until the recent times, if you look at the description of this thing, Mr. Moore, it is considered a Bigfoot. And we're talking about normal sized people, 5-6 foot tall. Most Sasquatch are what, 10 to 12 foot tall? Most people would consider that a giant. I would. He went on and came to where they had rested again, and there were tracks of a child walking and another crawling about. He went on until he came to where they had rested again, and there were tracks of a child running and another walking. Still, he followed the trail along the stream into the mountains and came to the place where they had rested again. And this time, there were footprints of 2 children running all about. And the footprints can be seen in the rocks at that place. Twice again he found where they had rested. And then the trail led up the slope of Siligun. And he heard the sound of a drum and voices, as if people were dancing inside the mountain. Soon he came to a cave, like a doorway, on the side of the mountain, but the rocks were so steep and smooth that he could not climb up them, but could only look over the edge and see the heads and shoulders of a great many people dancing inside. He saw his sister dancing among them and called to her to come out. She turned when she heard the voice, and soon as the drumming had stopped for a while, she came out to him, finding no trouble in climbing down the rocks and leading her 2 little children by hand. So he was very glad to meet her brother and talk with him a long time, but did not ask him to come inside, and at least he went away without having seen her husband. Several other times the brother came to the mountain, but always his sister met him outside, and he could never see her husband. After 4 years had passed, she came one day to her mother's house and said her husband had been hunting in the woods nearby and they were getting ready to start home tomorrow. And if her mother and brother would come early in the morning, they could see her husband. If they came too late for that, she said they would find plenty of meat to take home. She went back into the woods, and the mother ran to tell her son. They came to the place early the next morning, but the Tsul Kalu and his family were already gone. On the drying poles, they found the bodies of freshly killed deer hanging, as the girl had promised. And there were so many that they walked back and told all their friends to come for them. And there was enough for the whole settlement. Sounds like this Tsul Kalu is a hell of a hunter, doesn't it? Enough deer to feed an entire settlement? Still, the brother wanted to see his sister and her husband. So he again went to the mountain, and she came out to meet him. He asked to see her husband, and this time she told him to come inside with her. They went in through the doorway, and inside he found it like a great townhouse. They seemed to be alone, but the sister called out, "He wants to see you." And from the air came a voice, "You cannot see me until you put on a new dress, and then you can see me." "I am willing," said the young man, speaking to the unseen spirit. And from the air came the voice again, "Go back then, and tell your people that to see me they must go into the townhouse and fast for 7 days. And in all that time they must not come out from the townhouse or raise the war whoop. And on the 7th day I shall come with new dressings for you to put on, so that you can all see me." The young man went back to the village and told the people. They all wanted to see Tsul Kalu, who owned all the game on the mountains, so they went into the townhouse and began to fast. They fasted the 1st day and the 2nd, every day until the 7th, but one man from another settlement who slipped out every night when it was dark to get something to eat, and slipped in again when no one was watching. On the morning of the 7th day, the sun was just coming up in the east, and they heard a great noise like the thunder of rocks rolling down the side of Tsul Kalu. They were frightened, and they drew nearer together in the townhouse, and no one whispered. Nearer or louder came the sound, until it grew into an awful roar, and every terrible tremble and held their breath. All but one man, the stranger from the other settlement, who lost all his sense from fear and ran out of the townhouse and shouted a war cry. At once the roar stopped, and for some time it was silence. Then they heard it again, but if it were going further away, and further until at last it died away in the direction of Tsul Kalu. And then all was silent again. The people came out of the townhouse, but there was silence, and they could see nothing but what had happened 7 days before. Still the brother was not disheartened. They came again to see his sister, and she brought him into the mountain. He asked why Tsul Kalu did not bring new dressings, as he had promised, and the voice from the air said, "I came with them, but you did not obey my word. You broke the fast and raised the war cry." The young man answered, "It was not done by our people, but by a stranger. If you will come again, we will surely do as you say." But the voice answered, "Now you can never see me." Then the young man could not say any more, and he went back to the village. And that is the story of the Tsul Kalu. Oh, hey David. That's the story of Tsul Kalu, and like I said, I think we have a creature like that here. Again, it's also known as the Slant-Eyed Giant and the Cherokee Devil. And considering it was able to speak to my wife mentally, put her in a trance, and try to take her up the mountain. Only thing from mythology I could think of that would be a Tsul Kalu. If y'all know of any other cryptid out there that can do something like that, by all means, I'm open. Talk to me about it. Oh, and David, you missed the announcement. Kelsey and I are going to be parents. Haha. No, no one hit me. Why do you ask, David? Thank you, Mr. Moore. And thank you, David. I've always looked like this, David. Okay, Mr. Moore, to answer your question, this is our third pregnancy that we've had 3 losses in the past. One would have been twins. So, just a heads up, everybody. Future cryptid investigator incoming. I'm already... And there's my wife right there, Kelsey Smith. Tell Sue... she said... David said tell you hi, honey.
Hi, David.
But y'all, that's basically all I have about the Tsul Kalu.
Dawn had a good question.
Dawn, have you encountered or looked for Dogman? Not yet, Dawn. I have had a Dogman story I heard about down the road from me. I had not had a chance to look into it yet. I only focus on one creature at a time. Because if you look at all these shows on TV, they do one creature per episode. I do one creature per season. That way I can really dig in deep, get an in-depth investigation into it. Well, I am going to kill some time and chat with y'all. If y'all have any questions or comments or anything y'all want to talk about, hit me up here. Come on. Because I'm literally at 300 and... How many subscribers?
72?
372 subscribers, so I'm having some fun with this.
Let's double check my math. Yep, 372.
So that's 372 subscribers. But now, let me go into why I read this story one more time. The experiences we had last time we went to Pigeon Mountain. I know, David. You know that's David Smith, right? Okay.
I kind of figured.
Alright. Okay. They're everywhere now, and I know a guy who saw a gray one while bow hunting in west central Indiana near Raccoon Lake. It was large gray, stood up and ran off and off on all fours very fast. That's troublesome if it's fast. My question is, do you think it could outrun a bullet? Because I'm not out there to harm or to purposely go out there and harm these creatures, but if they get hostile, believe you me, I'm going to get hostile right back. You can't. Okay, I understand that. Just if you come across one, you stay safe, brother. Be smart. Those things are dangerous. I heard a story one time. I don't remember where I heard it, but it was online somewhere. This guy was out hiking or something. He was out in the woods on a trail, and he started noticing this bipedal creature following him, and it turned out to be Dogman. Exactly. A pack was about to attack him, and a Bigfoot saved him. And the Bigfoot didn't open its mouth to speak, but he could hear a voice in his head yelling, "Run," while it was holding these creatures back. But if there's been one Dogman sighting near me, I guarantee there's more than just one Dogman out here. And that's what I'm going to do next year. Next year, I'm going after Dogman on Lookout Mountain, near the LVL was following back. Oh, so you heard a different story, and that's at the LBL. Now, eventually, I do want to get up to the LBL. Ever since I heard about the beast of LBL, I've been dying to go up there. I hadn't exactly had the funds to do so yet, so I figured start with local cryptids around here, build up my equipment. Probably the best bet. But as for the beast of LBL, if it gets hostile while I'm there, hey man, this is alive. We can go any direction. We can go left, we can go right, we can go up, we can go down, we can go forward, we can go back. I don't care. If I well, thank you. I do my research thoroughly. I don't go in half-cocked. Before I go to an area, I learn the geography, the history, and the old folklore of the area. As much as I can. And all that's also on my YouTube. So people are there through my investigation from start to end. That's true. All I can do is try to give people a heads up on what's out there and how to protect themselves. But like I said, I'm not out there to harm these creatures. If they prove to be hostile and aggressive toward humans, I will take them down in any way I can. I'm ex-military, so I got the training and the knowledge to do so. Hey, Jasper! Y'all, just joining in on the chat. This is Jasper Walls of Bigfoot and Things. Y'all go give his channel a look. This guy's got some awesome content. You'll hear stuff about Bigfoot, wrestling, politics. You never know what you're going to hear him talk about on his show, but it's also a good time. It's called correct me on here.
Bigfoot and Things with Jasper
Bigfoot
Walls.
and Things with Jasper Walls. That's the name of the channel. Y'all go check that out. Hey Derek, I know you're on here. Link your YouTube channel on here, brother. Just copy and paste the link on the chat here. Now, some of y'all may have seen Derek on some of my videos with me. Y'all may have seen me on some of his with him if y'all watch his stuff too. They don't show a link. I'll link it in the description here in a bit. I'll make sure it gets on there. Let's see here. But his show's awesome. It's always been good for entertainment and laughs and knowledge. This man will keep you informed. Let's see, what else we got going on here? Alright, brother. Okay, he's on his regular account. He's not on his Bigfoot and Things account. That's why we're having some issues there. But I'll make sure his channel gets linked somehow on this video. I promise y'all that. Alright. Excuse me, folks. I gotta let my wife up so she can go answer nature's call. Alright, now if you click on where it says Bigfoot and Things with Jasper Walls right there, folks, you'll take you to Jasper's YouTube page. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of entertainment, a lot of fun, and a lot of good stuff you'll learn about cryptids. Or whatever he talks about. He talks about cryptids. He talks about wrestling. He talks about everything. That's why it's called Bigfoot and Things. You never know what you're going to hear him talk about on his show. That's always fun to watch. What's this do? Yeah, that's right. Sometimes he does live trucking. Thanks for reminding me, brother. I forgot about that. If y'all ever want to see what it's like in the life of a trucker, check his channel out for that too. He can give y'all some laughs on that one, listening, driving down the road. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for taking the time to come watch me on here. And for listening to the story of the Tsul Kalu. And my explanation as to why I think I have one here in Walker County, Georgia, out on Pigeon Mountain. Pigeon Mountain, which worries me because Pigeon Mountain is known for hunting. They have a lot of hunting happens up there for turkey, deer, rabbit, all that hunting goes on up there. There's a lot of camping up there, caving up there, hiking up there, so it can be kind of dangerous if you're up there at the wrong time. And Mr. Moore, please, if you want to, man, just reach out to me on Facebook under my name, Greg Smith. Or you can also find me on my on the Facebook group page, Backwoods Cryptids. And yes, there are bears up on Pigeon Mountain too. But last I checked, bears couldn't do mind speak. If they could, oh my God. It would be a heck of an entertaining time to hear what a bear thinks about, wouldn't it? I'm hungry. I'm sleepy. Y'all, I think we'll go ahead and end this live. Again, thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening. I'm going to try to link Jasper, Bigfoot and Things with Jasper Walls into the description of this video. If it'll let me, it should, I think. If not, I'll add it myself somehow into the comments. Hang on, so let's see if I can do it this way here. What's this? I don't ain't gonna let me add it that way. But y'all stay out there, stay safe. Good night. And thank you to Mr. Moore. If I come across any more stuff about what I think could be out here, trust me, you'll know. Just keep an eye on my page. Later.